Orders are due this week at I Want More Comics and Games for many great items. Always check out our final orders due page to get your books and beat the release week rush. We work to list every available and open order comic, trade paperback, and manga so you can get exactly what you want. Highlights this week include new #1 issues with Magic and Colossus, Storm Earth's Mighty's Mutant, and a special for Bug Wars. First appearance for Absolute Zatanna in Absolute Wonder Woman. Store favorite criminal gets a new graphic novel. David Nakayama starts his Red variants. And DCKO keeps going with 3 offerings. Place your order before 6 p.m. Monday night and select from shipping options or in-store pickup. See you at release.
I don't even know what we're doing here anymore.
I've forgotten.
This feels so foreign, so strange, so different. I almost remember this. What about you?
I remember a bit. I remember trying.
I've done this for at least a year.
It was last year when we did this. That is correct.
But welcome one, welcome all. Sunday night with the final orders due show. Keith and Richie here to peruse and look over the list of fun and goodness. Point out a couple things that we see and allow you guys access to be able to order anything that you want directly off of the website. Follow along with us at home at iwantmorecomics.com. Hit that shop button at the top and use the final orders due line there to get to exactly where we're at. These are all comics that are available for pre-order and will turn around and be available till 6 p.m. tomorrow night, Monday night, for pre-orders, and then they disappear for a little bit because then it's not until they come into stock in about 3 to 4 weeks later.
That is correct, and we have a bunch of stuff coming out. It's kind of like the rubber band effect where we had nothing and then bam, we get slammed with everything.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot thrown at us, and as Keith and I were talking about before we started the show, like there's even some information that's a little wacky still because of just how much stuff they're trying to pour in to the beginning weeks of the new year.
Right away there, that Absolute Martian Manor, it's very unusual that DC doesn't show us every cover, but that Bengal cover is not available yet. It's just people getting back into the habits after the little bit of vacation time. So we roll with the punches and make it all of it and make the best we can.
That is right. A lot of it's going to be like some weird independents, but I found some trades that I think we should highlight and some other stuff just to show off during final orders due, which is a little different than like the half-hour hype, where I try to focus on things that potentially you don't want to miss ordering. Like you really want to make sure these are in your box before they get to the cutoff date. Why don't we start with the one you and I were kind of talking about earlier, which is a interesting Marvel variant selection that they're going to be doing, I think, all month long. And it is from our favorite here, one of the fan favorites, David Nakayama. In Marvel are teaming up to do what they're calling color block variant editions, and I believe David Nakayama is in charge of the red color block.
So I've seen bits and pieces of this. I have seen that all of what Nakayama will be doing this month is red variants for when he's not doing one of the others. As an example here, I used the filter to tell me all Marvel comics with the cover artist David Nakayama. Sneaking in there is that Magic and Colossus, and I'm sure we can circle back and talk about that in a minute. But these are 2 examples of those done in his period of red.
Yes.
I believe the Fantastic Four will also be another red book, but you will see covers that are primarily red in nature, and him doing his art around that. Kind of, it's not quite a negative space type, but it is a dominant primary color.
Correct.
Going through like that. So if you are a fan, if you want to jam on this is the first week to order up some of those. If you are a hold slot, you can send us a message and we can turn around and work on getting you into like a full run of that type of
Yes,
thing.
absolutely.
So that's there. But this week it's Amazing Spider-Man, Avengers, and Fantastic Four that fall under that category.
And the way you're going to try to keep up with that as we go week to week is by pulling up David Nakayama. You're not going to find a cover theme. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah. Moving on from there, we'll talk about a magazine that I know we order, but very lightly for the rack. It is Mad Magazine, the 2018 volume from DC Comics, issue 48 is dropping. And I know we have like one or two that hit the rack, but if it's something that you're interested in, this is absolutely the time to order that up so you don't miss your copy.
Well, the last couple have not sold.
Right.
So I've actually cut them. So this is special order only. We just haven't had a lot of people chasing Mad. So it is a prime example of why to get your pre-orders in. It won't be, I do not have plans for this to be on the rack just based upon past sales, which is fine.
Yeah, people have spoken.
Not a problem. But if it is your thing and you're wondering, well, this is the time to get in on it.
Excellent. Another one that I thought you could shed some light on and how you're thinking about ordering, because I'm not sure how they're doing as well. They kind of get lost in the ether, but it's from Dynamite Entertainment, and it's the Harley Quinn Elvira blind bag variants. I know we've had already a few ordered, but this is something that it's tough because they come out a little bit after the comic comes out.
This one may finally catch up and be on the rack at the same time. So it was an afterthought when they had the thing going. It does fit well for this series, but so this issue 4, they have had blind bags on issues 1, 2, and 3 so far. And I believe that it might have been as recent as last week that we got our first ones in on that. So I know we've had some in on this. I will start to look at what the past sales were. We did not stock it very deeply because pre-orders weren't deep on it. Yes. And the information given about it's a little light. So
it's very cloudy. So I mean, I don't blame the customer for not being able to find these things or try to get them. I don't blame us for trying to order them. It has been difficult, but the way to make sure you land on it, I think, is to pre-order this bad boy.
This does say it comes with exclusive variants at the price tag of $19.81. The past ones have had 3 copies inside of it. From my understanding, in the past, it's been 1 blank cover so that you could get your own thing done, and then 2 that have exclusive variants that are randomized inside this.
There you go.
We have also, again, the website a month or 2 ago was upgraded that pre-orders now allow for more than 1 copy.
Yes.
So if you wanted to turn around and come in here to it and say, oh, give me 5 of those because you're just going to go crazy, wild, go nuts with it, then you can turn around and place in your orders for as much as you want on that to be able to have your pulls.
Excellent. Let's jump over to Image and talk about a new #1 called Malevolent. Malevolent is going to be a kind of a world run by demons where humanity and demon hunting kind of go hand in hand. A new weapon is created that will destroy demons, but it also is kind of volatile and might take care of us as well. Story by Justin Jordan. It starts in February.
First issue does drop. Oh, I don't have the detail listed in there. I believe that all of the Image stuff for this are either the last week of January or the first week of February for that.
There you go.
I, too, am playing catch up on all of the information that was coming through and getting all the website.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like nothing, everything at once. Let's go.
Slam dance. Here you go.
All right. We'll move over to Keen Spot for another #1 that I'm not quite sure. It sounds like it has a history, but I think it's playing with that. It's called Pooh Bear Adventures. So I know that Winnie the Pooh lost his licensing, so you can kind of do whatever you want with it. But this one has that all covers are bagged with 1 of 4 exclusive Pooh Bear Adventure trading cards, celebrating 100 years of Winnie the Pooh with a new all ages comic book adventures. So might be interesting if you're into Pooh Bear. I feel like they're just going to do their own thing, but I do think it's going to be all ages.
Well, and there's the thing. We've seen some of this that goes into public domain where they'll do horror movies, like that they've done that type of thing. So It's good to see someone also coming out and saying, hey, we're going to continue original spirit. We don't need to twist it. We think Winnie the Pooh stories are good enough as it is. And it seems pretty obvious that you've got Winnie the Pooh and Piglet right there. And again, it also talks about woozles. And I think it's using a lot of stuff that is going to feel very familiar for fans of the old Pooh stories.
All right. We'll continue our number one journey with Oni Press and the Spirit of Shadows. This is going to be a person that loved two things. His girlfriend and music ends up passing, and through a curse gets plunged into a carnival-like tormenting world beyond ours. I feel like a little bit of a Rob Zombie Ragman combination here. So if that interests you, I think you should jump on this bad boy. I don't see us ordering a ton for the rack, but it's definitely out there for those interested.
One that will carry, although variants, I think, may be something you want to consider there. This Carl Kershaw variant, I think, could be very strong.
Yes.
Take a look at that. If there's one that grabs your eye now, that's definitely raise your hand.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a couple number ones from Marvel Comics we should talk about. The first one, both X-Men related. The first one is Magic and Colossus. We saw a little preview there from the David Nakayama, as that is the A cover. We are past the Age of Revelation at this point, moving into a series focusing on certain members of the X-Men mythos. And this one is the Great Magic and Colossus, which I think is ripe for some fun action.
Creative team on that is that's Ashley Allen and German Peralta. There are people who have been on some of the other X books here recently, but following this brother-sister combo here, I think this is the all solid covers of the week, where Nakayama on the main, and then Villalobos and Simone DeMeo on others. Plus, if you want to go fun, this Scotty Young, the Grinning Colossus, is just absolutely
That is good. Yes, they are up to no good. Sticking with Marvel, going to Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant #1. For those that have been reading along, she's been kind of caught in kind of a space opera for a minute, and now is coming back to planet Earth to become the defender and bring just rain hell upon anybody that seems to want to harm us. I think this is going to be a very cool, very powerful comic book that if you've been reading along with Storm, that's a must-have.
Yeah, it looks like, obviously calling it Earth's Mightiest kind of thing makes you think it's a little bit more Avengers type style of heroism. So I definitely look for that. Another one, great variants there. If you just want to go all Villalobos for X-Men this month, you wouldn't be missing.
You would not be missing out, no.
No problem on that, but all those are there. And I didn't realize until a day or two ago that the Cosmic Invasion game is actually already out. I had missed that it had launched out there and all this, so I might have to go out and download and play around with that.
All right, and then from there we are going to DC Comics for their #1, which is actually a special. It's called DCKO, The Kids Are All Fight. This is basically a small group of Titans offset from the DCKO tournament, having to go against the Femme Fatales and Granny Goodness. They've been setting seeds along the path, if you've been reading along, and this will be the big fight to see who can survive there.
You'll recognize the players on the cover there from all of that, but John Kent leading the way with this little ragtag team. This was going to be a one-shot, am I right?
That is correct, yes.
Yep. So get your all-inclusive story here. couple different variants also to support your habit. While we're here,
go ahead.
We can point out that the Batman Deadpool.
It's like you read my mind, buddy. That's exactly where I was going next. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to point out a couple things about this. Obviously,
hit
if you want to hit it, and you need it, this is the time to jump in. But also, there are dual covers. Yes. So take this Jim Lee and J. Scott Campbell cover. I believe it to be that this is the front, which is the Jim Lee variant that we saw originally. But the J. Scott Campbell is on the back cover, so it's kind of
interesting. That's cool.
And
also,
that's how that works.
Also, that's distributed art too, so that is not the Batman and Wolverine featured on the original cover.
Oh, it's changed.
I know this because it was blue and yellow, and the bat symbol was the current bat symbol, whereas now it's been changed to previous, looks like a 90s version of Wolverine and Batman there for Jim Lee.
A little bit of change up on that.
Yes.
But, the main cover for it, the ones that are not really variants, is this one here with Mr. Smiley Face, Deadpool, Deadpool, Daredevil, whatever this kind of.
This is a Batman Deadpool character. Yes.
Yeah. So another one of those where they're combining the characters and giving you a little bit of that amalgam feeling for what they did in the story.
I don't think you can lose on any of those. I think each of the variants is excellent, and I would pick up the one you want now. From there, we have a couple trade paperbacks I thought I would highlight. The first one being kind of a bigger one, but having really cool covers if you're a Star Wars fan and Marvel Comics. The Legends New Republic Omnibus, hardcover 3 is actually out, and it has 2 awesome covers. Both, I think, are absolutely worth it with the Dave Dorman work.
Yeah, their original, we've titled that. One was the original Crimson Empire #1 cover. The other one is The Empire Lost. It obviously sets that up. These big, monstrous home defense, the omnibuses, cover a ridiculous amount of stories here. Crimson Empire, Bounty Hunters. I would let you guys sign in and read that entire list instead of me wasting all the time stumbling through it. But it's a whole bunch of these Dark Horse era 4 to 6 part minis that are all collected all in one, plus some side tales where you see some extra material that was in like Dark Horse Extra, Dark Horse Presents, Star Wars Tales, some pieces like that all fit and make this, a big of the era kind of a read.
Absolutely. The next one we're going to talk about is back at DC with Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman. That just finished up, I want to say last week, or it was the week before last week because there was no DC this week. But Tom King and Belen Ortega's art featuring the great Trinity hunting down corgis throughout the universe and the multiverse in timelines. This is available to purchase if you missed out on those.
Trade paperback for only $18, collecting the whole series.
Stick in DC Comics and talk about Supergirl being super. A friend of ours, Joelle Jones, Mariko Tamaki doing the writing. This was an excellent series. Probably my second favorite Supergirl story of all time, and really worth the pickup.
Are you calling World of Tomorrow your favorite, or
Woman of Tomorrow? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. The next one I had was under Image Comics, for those that follow along with Steven Sajic. His Sunstone trade paperback comes out. Typically he's in hardcovers, so now moving on to trade paperbacks, and a volume 1 is always good to pick up.
Also $9.99.
Yes, that is
very affordable,
ridiculously affordable. And Marvel Comics has the Epic Collection of Ultimate Spider-Man, featuring the Hunted storyline.
That would be Epic.
It's actually right there. On the page.
Yeah. You said Ultimate, and I was passing over it because I don't know why I was looking for Craven. But yes, the epics that have come out anywhere from $35 to $50 a piece, depending on how many issues they're covering. This is Ultimate Spider-Man 14 to 27, so it is the second part of the original Bendis Bagley. So if you were wanting to read all of that started into 2000, you don't have to wait anymore for me to get around to inventorying all of it and putting it online. You can pick it up in easy to read format like this.
Moving on to Dynamite Entertainment, we have A Nightmare Before Christmas, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen hardcover. I bring this up because it always happens. There's a huge following for Nightmare Before Christmas, and everybody keeps missing these. And I want to make sure that you see them when they're available so you can pick them up for either you or someone you know that really adores these books. There's not a ton of different series for Nightmare Before Christmas. Leading into next week, Half Hour Hype might have something coming up as well. But this is the graphic novel for the Pumpkin Queen.
Dynamite's notorious for this. They'll put out both. You get the hardcover option for $22.99 or the trade paperback for $15.99. So either one is available there.
Oni Press has a trade paperback called Plague House. It is kind of a thriller terror style story of a mild-mannered man ends up going to prison on Murder Row for hammer wielding murder spree on his family. And the reasons that something like that could happen. I think it's going to be pretty dark, interesting mystery, and worth it if you're looking for a cool thriller.
Collecting issues 1 to 4 there.
Moving on from there, it's a trade paperback, but has a different feel to it in Marvel. This is the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. Trade paperback one featuring the Marvel Rivals Time Stream Adventure. For those that may not know, Marvel does have a role-playing game. We actually sell the hardcover original rule book here at the shop, available, I believe, on the website. If not, I'll get it on there. And this is the trade paperback expansion for it to create your Marvel Rivals characters and kind of build storylines and timelines with them.
Good RPG fun, and reasonably priced at only $15 to add on, so we're not talking about a big gouge.
Absolutely. Slipping into a couple like variants or interesting comics that I think people should stick or be ahead of the game with. We will move over to Image Comics and talk about something that honestly has been selling way better than I thought it would. But it is Skin Breakers Treasury Editions. Goodness gracious. It's really hard to keep track of those, man. It is, people are really, really liking them. I know that there's a fan base for just Treasury Editions, but in bed with David Finch artwork, I think this is why this is a success, and it is hard to order correctly. So if you have been hunting them down or really wanting them or feel like you're missing out, this is how you get ahead of the game and purchase these bad boys up and make sure you get one.
When we bring this in the week that it comes out, we actually get several orders online because I think that there's some stores that aren't carrying the treasuries,
which makes sense. Yeah,
have been chasing it down. So it adds a lot of expense if you're getting it shipped. But they, people who want it are definitely paying the extra to get to it.
Absolutely. Sticking with kind of that same theme, we'll go over to DC Comics and talk about a facsimile edition of the Marvel Treasury Edition of Superman and Spider-Man. Next week, I believe we have the Spider-Man Superman meetup coming out, but this is the Marvel's representation of that facsimile, and it's dropping in a little while, and you can actually pre-order to make sure you don't miss out.
Real fun on this is that the alternate version that they've done, this is a new cover here by Brian Bolin, who is
incredible.
Replicating the original, but really is sharp, stands off just a little bit compared to the other ones there. And you can get the foil if you are prefer to get your books.
Get the shiny, man. Get the shiny. Sticking in DC Comics, there's a unique variant with Superman number 34. The Dave Johnson variant is actually kind of a reference to the movie and kind of a callback. I don't think it has too much to do with DCKO, but I do think that it's will be liked by the masses, and you might want to get ahead of that one potentially.
It's funny because I see two here on the Superman. You have the Dave Johnson, which they're referring to as the punk rock one.
Yes.
But you also have this Mario Facelio that is straight up anime.
That's amazing. Actually, I didn't even catch that. I like that.
Yeah, that one's there too. So it's another one that may grab some eyes for it.
Speaking of variants, I do believe we did tag this out as a cover theme, but there's something called Hell's Kitchen variants coming out this month.
Let me look.
Take a look and see if we did that. I think we did.
For theme, Hell's Kitchen variants. Yep, sure.
So Hell's Kitchen is going to be featuring your favorites. There's one missing on there. There's Wolverine, number 15 is also going to be one. But we'll have different iterations of your favorite heroes as protectors of Hell's Kitchen. Kind of breaks them down into their basic interest, kind of like Punisher level, and pushes them out that way.
I am tagging up the other one, so it'll
Thank
be
you.
updated here shortly. But
while you do that, I will talk about another trade paperback that I just thought was kind of cool. I don't really know much about it, but it's pretty simple premise from Rocket Ship Entertainment, something publisher I'm not sure of.
Okay, Wolfsbane here.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to cough in everyone's ear. So Wolfsbane here. It seems like a succession story of a lycanthrope hunter who pushes the limits of challenging the werewolves. And the thing I really dug is that second cover, that Silver Bullet edition. I just think it looks slick. And judging a book completely by its cover, I would pick one of these up if I had.
Yeah, they really went
that wolf thing.
They really went deep on the hardcover version here. So this hardcover is $40, where you could just get the story for $25 if you want to go with the trade. But this definitely has upped the presentation here to make that just look absolutely great.
I have one more trade to talk about from Wake Entertainment. We can talk about Essentia getting their trade paperback.
So this is on the list, but if for whatever reason it comes up in your head and goes, wait a minute, I think this is a reissue. So this has been out, has been available. We potentially even have one in stock right now.
Okay.
If I remember when I was looking at this, but because Essentia has brought some more attention, I thought, well, it's still good to put it up on the FOC just to give everybody a little simple reminder about it so that they could turn around and see.
It was a very underground good seller, and I think you're right. It's definitely got a reason to bring it out. It's a story about 150 years in the future. There's two immortals, there's battling cities, and a person challenging the beliefs of a system gone by. So excellent storytelling, really cool book, very independent, so might be hard to find. Lastly, from there, we can do a couple of runway shots with some cool variants that might be featured once more back in our half-hour hype. The first one I thought we'd bring up is Harley and the Ivy, Life of Crimes from DC. You can kind of spill that into Harley as well, because those covers are all very, very good.
I really have a great appreciation for the A cover on this.
Yes, me too.
Because of how it is, in the style of that 50s heart drama type of love and romance.
Yes, love romance. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Just really well done for that. It's great for that. That's not to just discard, lyrics or Marguerite Sauvage or the Epic Putri, which also has a foil version. Those great, fantastic. It's just, when I see something like this executed well, it's going to draw attention to me.
Absolutely. David Nakayama's been killing the Harley Quinn covers for quite some time at this point.
Yeah, we have a growing amount of people that are just on those, just old slots that are there. and it's a big, it's a big adventure there, because between that, then you have the Inhook Lees. Haining is on a sweater weather variant here for this. Elizabeth Torque's got a great one. You have quite a bit going on there.
And before we call it, did you want to talk about Escape from Skull Island? Am I remembering that correctly? That's
I have one more in DC.
Okay.
I know it feels like every single week we talk about Absolute.
Yes.
But this book here, the Gilliam March Absolute Wonder Woman number 16 variant.
Yes.
Who dat?
Looks like Zatanna to me.
That is Zatanna. And you know what happens in the Absolute universe when we get these first covers and all this? I don't know how sky high to order this, because fandom starts taking it over. If there is good conversation about this, and there's always been good conversation about the Absolute Wonder Woman series, this could become a big deal thing.
You want to hear one of my outlandish things on this too?
Okay.
Is that A cover has technically a first appearance of Zatanna, but also a logo appearance for DC's new Vertigo relaunch with a new branding. So I know people now that collect old brands and their first appearances. So this might be one of those if you want to jump on.
It's interesting. It's nice to see that the preview will be in there, because that's definitely something there. And Sean is doing a little bit of reading and research on the different Vertigo titles that are up, so we can talk a little bit more intelligently about the relaunch of Vertigo. It's there. And then you were bringing up Titans.
Yes. That was
the
Escape from Skull Island. Yeah,
Skull Island. So there's another Kong-esque story here with lots of different variants. We as a store will probably based upon past orders, will be in on the A cover. But if you have a preference that's not there, you probably should jump over. And I'm pretty sure that everybody like this little Netflix thing, right?
Yep.
That's a little hint there that, is related if you're enjoying that type of content. So
excellent.
Definitely a little bit of a radar of, I like that type of story. I'll come back and get it in months. Well, probably not. If it takes off on any kind of trajectory there and all this, it's going to be a tough one to find.
Well, there you go, my friends. That is everything for our first final orders due show of the year. There was a lot to go through, and man, we really only got through a little bit of it. There's still a ton of stuff in there that you want to look through. Check out some variants. Make sure you don't miss anything. You have all the way up until Monday at 6 p.m.
Please browse the site, put your orders in, and we'll make sure that your books are nicely grabbed for you.
Sounds good.
Appreciate you hanging out with us. Join us this week. Tuesday night will be the half-hour hype for the new release rack. And Wednesday is the, as always, ever popular stream sale. See us on all these platforms, and we'll be there.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Orders are due this week at I Want More Comics and Games for many great items. Always check out our final orders due page to get your books and beat the release week rush. We work to list every available and open order comic, trade paperback, and manga, so you can get exactly what you want. Highlights this week include new #1 issues with Magic and Colossus, Storm Earth's Mighty's Mutant, and a special for Bug Wars. First appearance for Absolute Zatanna in Absolute Wonder Woman. Store favorite criminal gets a new graphic novel. David Nakayama starts his red variants. And DCKO keeps going with 3 offerings. Place your order before 6 p.m. Monday night, and select from shipping options or in-store pickup. See you at release.